Hey, Jerry Palladino here, otherwise known as the Motorman. If you watch my Ride Like a Pro channel, it's all about motorcycles and motorcycle skills and different products that would interest people into motorcycles. But I also happen to be deeply into cars, and I've been a car nut since I was 10 years old. I happen to live through the heyday of muscle cars, and I know quite a bit about them. And that's what this channel is going to be about: muscle cars, old and new. Right here in this neighborhood, within 2 miles of where I live, we have 2 or 3 restoration shops, so I got a lot of content that I could give you. And today, for this video, we're going to talk about a new muscle car, and this one that I drive on a regular basis. This is my 2017 Challenger TA. I'm going to take it for a ride. I'm going to talk to you and tell you a little bit more about this channel. And please subscribe. I think I've got like 10 or 12 subscribers right now, but I need to get at least 1,000 to monetize this channel. So please, if you would, watch the videos. I think you'll like them. I have one up already. It's about the Mecum auction. I talked about all the muscle cars I saw there, some great cars. And today we're going to talk about, well, this one right here. Well, all right, once again, welcome to my new channel. Today we're going to talk about this particular car, this Challenger, and why I bought it. And the main reason is I believed it to be, well, the last of the real muscle cars. Now, I know that there's, well, they got a Charger coming out now with an electric motor, but yeah, I'm not calling that a muscle car. All right, the reason I say this is one of the last of the muscle cars is because, well, actually it was. Granted, you could buy a new Mustang with a big V8 and rear-wheel drive, but I don't know, the new Mustangs lean more towards sports car than they do actually the muscle cars. And I know they handle very well, great track cars, road race type tracks. And you know, pretty good in the quarter mile. No better than this one, but this to me is the last of the muscle cars. And this is though a 2017 model. They went on until 2023, and Dodge made a big deal out of it. The last call models, and dealers were getting just, you know, $100,000 over MSRP. Crazy money for these. That lasted a little while, and then they sold off the Demon 170s, and a lot of the dealers were then left with a bunch of brand new 2023s, and initially the 392 models, they were getting 10 grand over list. Well, pretty soon you could buy them for 3, 4, 5 grand under list price in 2023. In fact, I was just at the Mecum auction, as you saw with the video I just did, and there was a whole bunch of Demon 170s, Hellcats, 392s, that brand new, that I guess the dealer sat with them for about a year and a half, and they said, well, let's take them to the Mecum auction, and probably Barrett-Jackson, they'll be there as well, because, well, they couldn't get rid of them on their lots, and they've been paying interest on them for all that time. So a lot of them did sell, but right around MSRP, and of course, Mecum gets, I think, 5%, and then the buyer has to loses 5%. It's like a license to print money. But anyway, I got this car because it reminded me so much of the muscle cars of the heyday. Better in every way, in that it handles so much better, much safer cars. I've heard a lot of people will say, well, this car is very heavy, so they don't handle like a Mustang or the Camaro Super Sports. And yeah, that's probably true. If you're going to do some road racing, that may matter to you. Here in Florida, where we don't have too many winding roads, there's no big deal. And this car just, it handles beautifully for what I use it for. And that is just cruising around, having a good time with it. From what I've heard, these cars in a quarter mile, anywhere from the best time I've heard is like 11.9 for a stock one to about a 12.5, which is, yeah, it's plenty fast. I haven't taken it to the strip yet. I think I may do that a little bit later this year. And the biggest problem with these cars, like a lot of the muscle cars of the 60s and 70s, is getting traction out of the hole. That was what kept so many cars from the 60s and 70s, like for instance a Chevelle 454, 450 horsepower on those fairly skinny 14-inch polyglass tires. Getting those cars out of the hole was very, very tough. I'm sure, in fact, the best time I saw for that car was, I think from CarCraft magazine, it was about a 13.4 at 105 or 106 miles an hour. But mainly, if you just put, a set of cheater slicks on it, you could probably knock at least a half a second off that time, because those were very, very powerful cars. And the same could be said for any of the big block cars in the 60s and 70s, 440 Cudas, 426 Hemis. Getting a good start on street tires was almost impossible. You had to really, really practice that to get it going, lower the pressure in the tires, get the tires nice and hot when you're at the track. But, on the street, in a street race, you don't get to do those things. And I can remember a friend of mine had a 70 Z28 with the LT1, and his cousin had a 454 LS6 Chevelle, which is supposed to be much faster, according to Car and Driver magazine. The Z28 with 3-speed automatic, which is what he had in a 410 gear, would run about a 14.1, 14.2 in the quarter mile versus the 13.6s or so for the Chevelle. But out on the street, it was a different story. The one who got off the light fastest would always win the race. And my friend with the Z28, it was his cousin who had the 454, he would beat him every time. The 454 would just sit there spinning tires and smoking the tires. He could never get it going. By the time it hooked up, well, the Z28 was long gone. And the same could be said, like, you got a lot of torque in these cars, not as bad as the Hellcats or the Demons. You got to have drag radius for those cars to have any kind of good times at the track. But again, this car reminds me so much of those cars back in the day, and that's the reason I bought it. Plus, I love the way it looks. I love the styling. To me, this reminds me more of the Cuda than the Challenger. But it's a great car. It's been trouble-free. Like I said, I only got 8,000 miles on it. So yeah, I don't drive it every day. Every day I'm either riding a motorcycle or I'm taking my truck. So this is just a weekend toy, and every once in a while, I do that. And that's why I bought this car. And even from a roll, it's spinning the hell out of these tires. But boy, it sure sounds good. But that's what this car is all about. It will do take the turns great as well. Not, like I said, not as great as the Camaro SS, the Mustang GT of today, but Camaro's gone. This is the last of the last. So on this channel, you're going to be hearing a lot about muscle cars. Like I said, old and new. Within just a couple of miles of where I live are restoration shops. I hope to do some interviews with the owners of those shops, and I'll bring you the best content I possibly can. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and you're going to see plenty more of it. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and watch the videos. I like to talk muscle cars. Comment below anything about that type of vehicle, and occasionally I'll even throw in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, because right down the street from my house is a shop that specializes in exotic cars. Thanks for watching.